it's Elizabeth with the Art of Cherishing Home, and today we are going to be making dinner. So I have a bunch of ingredients I'm going to throw together and cross my fingers that they taste good, because it's just that time of year where I just don't care. My husband's going to hate hearing that. I'm sorry, but it's true. So I have 3 Roma tomatoes that I have horizontally sliced, and I'm going to dice them. 1 shallot, I'm going to dice that up. Now the shallots are diced, I am going to take some extra virgin olive oil. I started heating it up in the pan. I have it at a 6 if you have an electric stovetop. I'm also going to add like 1/4 of some butter into my olive oil. I'm going to let this melt down. And I've already started to smell my olive oil, and that's why I added it in. The butter. And then I'm going to start adding in the shallots. I think I need to turn it down. I think it's a tad too high. Let's do to 4 so I don't burn my butter and my shallots. I've got some frozen garlic that I'm going to chop up really quick. And my garlic is diced up. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my shallots. I'm going to go ahead and let the olive oil and butter and shallots and garlic simmer together and brown a little bit. I have put my tomatoes to the side. I have some baby bella mushroom slices that I'm going to be using in this dish. I'm going to go ahead and rinse them. Now that they're rinsed and my shallots and garlic look a little bit brown, I'm going to go add these in. I'm going to let this brown and add in my tomatoes in a bit. This is the part where you might be thinking, Elizabeth, this is semi-questionable, because I'm going to add tuna with beans and mushrooms and tomato. Yeah, but these are really mild, and it does give you fiber and protein, and it helps bulk up the meal. So that's why I'm adding these white kidney beans to our dish. I went ahead and drained my beans, put them to the side. I'm going to add in my tomatoes right now. I do have some black pepper on the bottom if you're wondering what is that. It's because I was adding in more peppercorn into my grinder and a bunch of pepper fell out, and I was like, let's save it. I'm going to add some salt and pepper into the dish. Remember, salt and pepper is to taste, so you do you on your salt and pepper. I'm going to use Italian seasoning. Yeah, I know, with tuna. So fingers crossed that I actually end up liking it. Measure with your heart on the Italian seasoning. I'm going to add in my beans. I'm going to go ahead and add in my tuna. I think I'm going to add more salt and pepper and some paprika. Paprika, I'm also measuring with my heart. I have a cup of rice. Well, let's see, this is about a cup and 1/4. I thought I had a cup, but it's a cup and 1/4, whatever, of rice. I'm going to rinse it out and add it to my mixture. I'm going to try to brown my rice in the same pan. I know, I'm being lazy. So it looks a little something like this. I'm going to add some pepper to this side, and I am going to get some bulion seasoning and mix it to make a broth so that we can marinate this. And I also have some heavy cream that I'm going to add to this as well. It tastes pretty mild. It doesn't taste bad. I am tempted to add red chili flakes to it to give it some spice, to make my husband happy. And he's probably going to tell me to add more seasoning, because he always tells me, listen to my ancestors, don't listen to your ancestors. Or he tells me, stop listening to your white ancestors and listen to the brown ones. I know, I'm getting impatient, and part of me is just like, mix it. So we're just gonna mix it and mix it up. And now I'm going to add the chicken bouillon mixture into it. if you have chicken broth or bone broth, that would be really good to add more protein. If you want to keep it vegetarian, you just would not add the butter and the tuna, and you would sub for vegetable broth and just keep the beans and maybe add some tofu if you want. Okay, I am going to go in with a little bit of the chili garlic paste, just a tad, because I don't want to overdo it, because my heat tolerance did go down while my husband's is still high. So let's do it. I did add only a little bit because this is hot. So if you are very white, I don't suggest adding this in. But if you are a little bit spicy and you can handle the heat, add more. And I would have added this earlier, but last minute choices. So I have some heavy whipping cream that I will be adding in, probably half a cup, because this rice does need a little bit more moisture than regular rice. Even though it's 1 cup, it's about 2.5 cups more than the regular. It is what it is. Added in my heavy cream. I'm going to give this a good stir, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook down. If you wanted to add spinach to this, that would be a really good suggestion too. I don't know, at this point, I'm just having fun, and hopefully it tastes good and my husband doesn't complain. I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook with the lid on, and I have it at a low temp, so say that be. While that is cooking, I'm going to chop up my shallot greens and just put it on top when it's done as like a garnish. I'm just gonna scrape the bottom a little bit so it doesn't burn. I put the lid back on so that it would cook. It's still at a 4. Okay, so it looks like the liquid evaporated. I'm going to add green on top. So I'm pretty sure this is done. I'm going to turn this off. Bon appetit. Please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.